approval. One young man, he brought his girlfriend home, and Mama got to looking at her and talking to her, and she says, "Lord help me, she's not going to be the mother of my grandchildren." She threw her out of the house. So her son, sometime later, brought another girl home. Same thing. Mom didn't like her, threw her out of the house. So then he come up with the idea that I'll fix her. So he brings another girlfriend home, and he says, "Look at here, Ma. She looks kind of like you, and fixes her hair like you, and dresses like you. And when she cooks my favorite meals, she cooks a lot like you." And Dad, he was taking all this in, and he says, He threw her out of the house. You know, it's my observation that these goofy, silly teenage girls, when they get married and have that first child, there's something in their brain that clicks. They change. They turn from a silly kid to a mean mama lion. I know my wife, she had baby supplies and stuff. I had no idea what we needed, what it was going to take. If we got them, what we were going to do with them. But she had all that stuff figured out. I don't know how she did it. I don't know if she learned from her mother or what. But in the Bible, I want to read some verses. I'm going to start out Genesis 2:24. It don't say too much about the conduct of a man, but there's quite a few different passages about a woman, a good woman. We know there's some bad ones. There was Delilah, Jezebel, the one that had John the Baptist's head cut off and delivered on a platter. But there's references for good women too. I'm going to start out with Genesis 2:24. It says, "Therefore a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and they shall become one flesh." That's interesting. How over time a man and woman begin to think alike, begin to care about the same things. They have children. It brings them closer together as a family. And time and children can change things. They can be good or bad. Hopefully it's good. Let's see. Next one I'm going to pick is Ephesians 5:31. Ephesians 5:31. I had it and then I lost it. There we go. It says, "Nevertheless, let each one of you in particular so love his own wife as himself, and let the wife see that she respects her husband." It says, going on, "Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor your father and mother, which is the first commandment with promise." Let's go to Hebrews 13:4. It says, marriage is honorable among all, and the bed undefiled, but fornicators and adulterers God will judge. This is a very serious passage. It goes along with God. He doesn't believe in divorce. He doesn't believe in free love. He believes in one man and one woman. Let's see. How about Proverbs 31:10-31? Who can find a virtuous wife, for her worth is far above rubles? The heart of her husband safely trusts her, so he will have no lack of gain. She does him good and not evil all the days of her life. She seeks wool and flax and willingly works with her hands. She is like the merchant ships. She brings her food from afar. She also rises while it is yet night and provides food for her household and a portion for her maidservants. She considers a field and buys it. From her profits she plants a vineyard. She girds herself with strength and strengthens her arms. She perceives that her merchandise is good and her lamp does not go out by night. She stretches out her hands to the distaff, and her hand holds a spindle. She extends her hand to the poor, yet she reaches out her hands to the needy. She is not afraid of snow for her household is clothed with scarlet. She makes tapestry for herself. Her clothing is fine linen and purple. Her husband is known in the gates when he sits among the elders of the land. She makes linen garments and sells them and supplies sashes for the merchants. Strength and honor are her clothing. She shall rejoice in time to come. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and on her tongue is the law of kindness. She watches over the way of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children rise up and call her blessed, her husband also, and he praises her. Many daughters have done well, but you excel them all. Charm is deceitful and beauty is passing, but a woman who fears the Lord shall be praised. Give her the fruit of her hands and let her own works praise her in the gates. Pretty well describes Superwoman, don't it? She's something marvelous. Let's see, Proverbs 11:16. What do we got there? A lot of knowledge in the book of Proverbs. A gracious woman retains honor, but ruthless men retain riches. And in 21:9. Yeah. Oh boy, this is a good one. Better to dwell in a corner of a housetop than in a house shared with a contentious woman. There's a lot of truth to that. At least we men think so. But along with the love of the woman, we can compare it with Jesus' love of the church. And we're not talking about the building. We're talking about the people sitting in the building. He loves them. He loves members that get along, don't argue, fuss.
Talk things out.
Hmm?
Talk things out.
Yeah. And he has a special place for us. Through Revelation, it talks about his love of the church, how he's going to come and take the church. The church is his bride. And we need to remember this too. I'll try something here. Ephesians 5:25. It says, Ephesians 5:25, it says, husbands, love your wives just as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for her. We're supposed to have that same bond that Jesus has for his church. That's about all I've got. Closing song is $4.99. $4.99.